Hi people, yeah, it's very cold as you can see. Today we're going to be talking about this book, The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And I have to say that I did try to read this book before and I ended up just putting it, apart. And very recently I felt like I wanted to read this one, so I picked it again. And I have to say that I love this book now. Honestly, it gets a bit complicated when you are around the page 150, 160, because there is a lot of information that's going to be given to you about Daevas, about the jinns, about ifrits, about the politics, and about the religion, and about all these internal fights for power and all this prejudice and all the things that that are going to be important on the book. So when I was reading it, and I was, as I said, at page 150 or 160, I decided to stop again, let it simmer down, and the following day I picked the book again, and I have to say, as I said, that I did love it. We're going to be following three main characters, but the book is going to be narrated by two of them. The book is going to be narrated by Nahri. She's this girl that she has no family and she cons her way through life, and it's like she works as she works as a nurse, but also she cons rich people. She tells them that they have this illness thing and they have to do that thing and this other thing, and so they can get better, and sometimes they have nothing at all wrong with themselves, but it's how she gets her money. So yeah, she does little con things, and but also she has this ability. If she wants, she knows what's wrong with someone, and she knows how to instinctively heal someone. And also she has this ability, she hears a language that she has never heard before, and she automatically knows how to speak it, and she understands it. And also she heals like really fast. She has always been living like this, knowing nothing about her family or about her origins, until she does something and she calls Daeva, and this Daeva is called Dara, and she's like, I cannot believe that this creature of legends, it's alive and it's here. So, it's very crazy. That's the very beginning of the book. And these two get paired up because Dara sees her and finds out that she's like the last descendant of a very powerful line of Daevas who were, brought to extinction. So he wants to save her and bring her to the city. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I love how they began to make sense, and how Dara begins to explain to her about her origins, about the city where he is going to be taking her, about all this infighting between the Daevas, about how the djinn came about Suleiman's seal, and a lot of things of mythos. This book, it's very full of lore and very full of mythos. I think that it will be considered like an own voices in the religious aspect, because the author is converted to Islam, and she has made an amazing job of documenting and researching, and it shows in the book. It's amazing. And we also we're going to be following a djinn called Ali, and he's like this guy who's very religious. He believes everything that he's been told, and he wants to protect his people and his family, but he's in this kind of crossroads between the powerful djinn. He's a member of the djinn, but also there is this mix of djinn and humans called the Safit, and they are mistreated, and he wants to help them, but helping them means a lot of things. You will have to read this one, and he's always like tethering the line between, I want to help them because I see that they are mistreated, but if I do, that means being against everything that I have been taught in my life. It means going against my family wishes. It means, and I think this book, it's a very powerful illustration about prejudice, about people who think that they have this entitlement. They think that they're better than the other people, and you have different kinds of entitlements and prejudice in this book. You have Dara, who thinks that Daevas are the more powerful of the lot and they should be revered, and he doesn't stand djinn because they submit and they agree to kind of lose their powers, and so he sees them as done somewhat less than, and he also sees human as weak. And you also have Ali, who he thinks more or less the same but for different reasons, and I love there's this conversation between the two of them because they are kind of enemies, and I love how Dara tells him, beware of your beliefs, beware of your faith, because there's people who are in positions of power who will use you if they can, because they will use all your ideals or your beliefs or your faith, and they will corrupt it to suit these ideas of power, of segregation that they have. And I love that this book makes you think. And there's also people who's prejudiced in this book and who has this view about race, and it's in a very disdainful manner, and you kind of hate them. But I love that we have all these different views, and that we get to see why these characters think the way they do. And I love that some of them make this growth and began to see that there is more to the world than this little parcel where they are in, and I love that. I also love that this is a book about a journey, about coming from a place where you think that you're alone, that you have like no relationship to anyone, and discovering that you are part of something greater. I love that these characters are going to learn. And at the beginning of the book, I hated Dara. I just couldn't understand him because he was so full of himself, so arrogant. He was this prejudice where Daevas were the absolutely best. And when you keep on reading, you can empathize with him and understand where he comes from. And by the end of the book, I have to say, I love Dara and what he meant to this story. And I think that it's an amazing character to have because it makes you see the world. As I say, the author has this way to make you able to see the world through all these characters' eyes and understand why they feel the way they feel. And I think that's amazing. And there is moments in which you are going to feel uncomfortable with these ideas about race and prejudice and all of that. And I think that's the idea, to make you feel uncomfortable, to make you question your own beliefs and your own faiths, and come to the conclusion that maybe these characters are wrong. Maybe no, it's wrong because we are all equal, or we should all be. But I love how this book makes you think about it and puts you in that position in which, as I say, you feel uncomfortable because it calls you out if you have ever felt like that. And I love the characters. They are very powerful. I love how naive Nahri is at the beginning of the book, how she thinks that she's a human being. And when she's thrown into this war, and she's like this paw into it, and she begins to, at the beginning, it's like, I have to find my footing. And then she discovers that who she was, it's important, and that she can change and she can adapt, but she doesn't have to say goodbye to everything that she was. If she was a con woman, she can still be a con woman and participate in this war and try to to find what suits her best and what will help her survive in this, because it's like this viper nest in here. I love how ruthless this book can be. I love how much of this Muslim lore we are going to learn. I love this story about Daevas, Djinns, Ifrits, Suleiman's seal. I knew very little about all of it. And I love how enlightening this book has been to me, also about all this lore and about all these characters. And as I say, I love books that make me question supremacy, that makes me question race, gender abuse, and all of these things, because I think that it's very important that we have these things in books and that we can learn how to be better. And I love that you have this, that the author offers you this way of empathize and understanding the characters, and you are cheering for them to to overcome the limits that they have been put into them. And I cheer when they, they learn something, and when they doubt, and when they decide that they want to break free of all these teachings and all these sayings. And I love when you begin to learn things about this book, and it's like I wasn't expecting all these twists and all these things, but it makes you see the world in this book and the real one like in a different lens. And yeah, it's amazing. And after this ending, I need to read the second one and the third one, because I love everything that the author has created in this one. So if you want to be blown out of your mind, if you want to read something very unique, I think that you have to give this one a chance, because it's amazing. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.